So, is a $1,000 Burberry Tote really worth it compared to a $200 Telfar bag? Keep watching if you'd like to find out. Hi you guys, welcome to my channel. It's Worry Babe here, and today we're going to be comparing the Burberry Lavenby Tote to the Telfar shopping bag. Now, you might be wondering, why exactly are we even doing this comparison? And I know that at first glance, both of the bags might look a little bit too different, but they do have some overlap, which I'll be highlighting throughout this video. So I'm going to be talking about the similarities and differences that these bags have, and hopefully with their different specifications, it can help you decide if you're facing a similar decision on what to buy. So starting out with both companies, right, we're comparing Burberry to Telfar, and I feel like this one in this area, I would say that they're pretty different, and I'm going to explain why. When I hear Burberry, like, I think, okay, this is something that has been here for a long time. I think if I was to use 3 words to describe Burberry, I think I would go with like luxury, classic, or like polished. I think that's the feel I get whenever I think about Burberry, and that is their niche, or that's what like I think when I think about that name, okay? And then when we come to Telfar, when I think Telfar, I think new, I think modern, I think trendy. If I was to pick 3 words, I would definitely say trendy, inclusive, okay? Not for you, for everyone. Love that. And I would also say modern. Like I said, I think Telfar has been around since 2005. I don't know if I got the date right, but like compared to Burberry, they haven't been that long. So what I was trying to say earlier is that they all serve a different niche. Like Burberry is giving that old, elegant, classic feel, and Telfar is giving, stylish, modern, like something more edgy. So I feel like those are 2 different niches that they both feel, but they can't do it together because they're not the same brand. So that would be what I would consider one of my differences for both of them when it comes to the branding and the company of the bags, okay? But moving on to the bags, I know you guys are probably like, where's the bag? I am comparing the medium Lavenby to the medium Telfar. I picked these 2 sizes because one, they both said medium, obviously, so I would hope that the size is a little bit similar, but when you do look at the specifications, they do, like, they're pretty similar. The Burberry medium tote is actually 15 by 12 by 4, and the Telfar is 15 by 11 by 5. So the Telfar might be a little bit higher, but they're pretty similar in those numbers. So that can be an overlap, or that is an overlap between both of the bags. And honestly, like I said, they literally look like the same size, not too far off. The medium size obviously means that you can fit a lot more in here. It can be used for, carrying a lot of stuff. Now, whether you decide to wear it that way is entirely up to you, but in this specification, they do overlap because I feel like you can get the same amount of, stuff in both of them without one having the ability to hold more than the other, okay? So in terms of space, you get approximately the same space for both of those, okay? So another difference I would say for both of the bags, and I feel like it's a difference but also an overlap. Number one, they both are made of leather, right? It's the type of leather now that makes them different. So they're both made of leather. However, the Burberry is made of real leather. Close up so you can see. This one is made of real leather, whereas this one is made of vegan leather. So like I said, they're both leather. You can definitely see it when you hold up the bags, but you can tell the difference between one, which is the real leather, versus the vegan leather. And I think that ties into my next point, which will probably be like the structure. I think because of the leather that we are using here, the structure of the bag is just more defined. Like I can sit this by itself and it would be fine. Whereas for the Telfar shopping bags, and I'm gonna say shopping bags because this is kind of the structure of all the other shopping bags, I feel like the reason why this is even able to sit by itself right now is because I have the longer handles in here. You can see like it's not as firm when compared to the other one. Like it's not as, what's the word? It's not as rigid as this one. So I think that would definitely count as a difference for both of them. I already talked a little bit about the space, but the fact that this is an open, it's just open. It's just an open space for you to dump whatever you want to put in here. I think that's kind of the same concept as the Telfar. The Telfar does have a clasp, however, I rarely clasp mine. So I'm gonna just go ahead and say you typically would also wear it with just the top open like this. So I like the open concept of it because I feel like that gives you more space to work with. You can fit more things in here. Another similarity for both of the bags is the fact that you do have that zipper compartment in the bag. Although you have your open space, you still have your zipper compartment to put, I would say, important cards, lip gloss, you know, chapstick, whatever you need. And you also have that in the Burberry Tote. So that's good, okay? I would say that they're approximately the same size. Yeah, I think it's around the same size of space there. So both of those have that in common. You have the additional zipper compartment to put your stuff into. Differences though, the Burberry only has 2 handles, 2 straps for you to carry it by, which I think makes it have a very timeless look. But the Telfar on the other hand has 4 straps, 2 short and 2 long, which I think gives it a more uses everyday feel. Like I can wear this with the short strap, but then I can also wear this over the shoulder, so it like makes it kind of like an everyday use bag with that. But the Burberry only has this, which kind of forces you to always wear it like this. And then I think finally another difference is the branding of the bag, or at least the logo. You can see this is the whole bag and the logo is like right here. Very minimalistic logo, very small, not like too exaggerated, and I feel like it really goes with the way the bag is. It goes with the design of the bag. There's also another logo in here, but again, still small, still very little, and I think it just adds to the look of the bag. Telfar has their Telfar logo in the front, and this, I can't imagine this being small because I feel like the bag would look empty. So it works for the bag, right? I like the fact that it's pronounced and it's like smack in the middle of the bag. It's cute, it adds to the look of the bag, and it just helps elevate the bag, okay? Now, the final difference that we're gonna talk about is gonna be the price. So this bag, I don't think it's still on the site or you're able to get it from Burberry, but I think at the time it was sold for about $1,000 when it came out. And this is the medium Telfar shopping bag, and this is sold for about $202 on the Telfar website. So it's a little bit of a, you know, price difference for both of them. Although you can't get this one on the site anymore, there are retailers that are carrying them for I think about $600, I think in the $600 to $700 range. So even if you take the retail prices, you know, they're still a little bit higher than the Telfar bag. And I really wanted to show in this video that I think both of them are worth their prices because, like I said, they have different niches that they cater to. I feel like my Telfar shopping bag right here, it's my everyday bag. I'm able to use it to carry a lot of things. I even use it to travel sometimes. So it's really given me, you know, everyday, but it's still stylish and trendy, right? On the other hand, the Burberry, I feel like it's very elegant, it's very classic. I'll probably pull this out for like special occasions, or like if it's not gonna be like an everyday bag for me. So like I said, different purposes, different functionality. So I would definitely reach for my Telfar if I was going for, you know, functional but still stylish, and then I'll probably grab my Burberry Tote if I was going for more of a fashion statement look. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with my comparisons of both of them? Also, let me know if there are any bags that you think will compare to either of the bags, and I may look into getting those because, again, bag collection building. Okay, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Be sure to check out my other bag reviews, okay? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.